Virtual STEM Club Constellation Exploration. I'm Sandy, and today we've got a fun little project where we check out some different constellations and star formations. You should have already picked up your take and make bag with the supplies that you're going to need for this project. Let's get started. In your take and make bag, you're going to find the supplies to do this constellation exploration project. And in the bag, you will find 2 sheets of templates of star formations. And then we did include a little evening sky map that will show you where some of the constellations are located in our sky. You will also have a flashlight. Your flashlight will have batteries that need to be installed, and you can have your parents help you do that, or an older sibling. They'll go in the flashlight like this. And then you will also have a little stick, a cuticle pushing stick that we're going to use to poke holes in our templates. And then you will also need a pair of scissors from home. So the first thing we want to do is take our little constellation or star grouping templates and cut them out. So if you want to cut them along the little patterns here, you can do that. If you just want to cut the piece of paper in quarters, you can certainly do that. So just however you want to cut it out. So just cut little cards out. And on these cards there is the name of the star grouping that we're going to check out today, and the shape that it's going to be in, and the character that it resembles. So just keep cutting out until you are done. So you can just cut around the edges like this, and then you can recycle the extra, or you can just cut down the center like this, and then cut these in half like this, whichever is easiest and most fun for you. So then we're going to take one of our templates, and we'll take our little cuticle pushing stick and just take the pointed end, and where there's circles on these templates, just take, and just be careful because this is pointed, and just poke through. And if you want to take like some newspaper, or you could even take this excess paper and put it behind there to kind of protect your fingers if you want to do that, because it's pointed and it's sharp, but you want to go ahead and poke that through. See how I've got it poked all the way through? So we've got some nice holes to work through. And so you want to go ahead and do that for all your templates. And you could even, I don't know, take a pad of newspaper or a magazine that somebody's done with. Just whatever's going to make it easier to get your holes made. And sometimes they want to be a little stubborn, but that's okay. You're just going to poke holes. Poke our cuticle stick. It might even help to just set it down and poke your hole, and then just keep poking until you have all your templates done. So poke, poke, and it's okay if you crinkle your paper. That's not going to affect our next step at all. Just keep poking. This is the hardest part of this project. So just keep poking through all of our templates. And when we're done, we'll show you the fun part of this project. Just poke. Kind of missed my mark there, but that's okay. I wouldn't, well, you can, I suppose, if you wanted to poke through all of these. I don't think you'd get the same effect of what we're going to try to do with our flashlight if you do that. And that's why I'm only poking the bigger holes. Again, just poke. And you don't have to go as fast as I am poking the holes. You can take your time. Just use caution and try not to poke your fingers too much. And this last one is a little bit different, but there's star marks where we want to poke our holes. All right, so now that we have all of our templates poked, you can just take a look here. We've got 8 of them, and these are some of the more common star formations. And then you've probably heard of the Big Dipper. So here's the Big Dipper, and that is Ursa Major, and the Little Dipper, which is Ursa Minor. We've got Cancer, Sagittarius, Lyra, Delphinius, Leo, and Cassiopeia. And they're the ones we're going to take a look at. And so now we're ready to have some fun with our flashlight. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to take our flashlight and turn it on. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here on the table, but we're going to take our flashlight and we're going to hold it by our cards, and you should be able to see our star patterns on a wall or a table. And I'm not sure you can see it on camera, but there's a little star pattern. And if, like, on this one, my hole doesn't really show, so I can make my hole bigger. And if you have to, you can kind of fold your paper on the back side, fold it back away from the hole to make your star pattern up here better, more clear. So again, and that will show us a pattern just like we would see in the sky of the different stars. So there's the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, and the fun thing about this flashlight is it kind of makes this the light shining through kind of looks like stars. But again, you could do it on a table, you could go in a closet where it's dark and you'd probably be able to see your star patterns better. There's Cancer. And that one just needs a little bit of tweaking. There we can see our patterns. Lyra. Delphinius. So here we're going to try this against the wall now. So we're going to start with the Big Dipper because that's the most common one. That's one of the brighter constellations. And so we're going to take our card and turn our flashlight, and we're going to take it to the wall, and then we'll talk a little bit about the science of constellations and stars. A star is a massive glowing ball of hot gas in space that produces its own light and heat. And then, of course, we know stars make up a constellation, and a constellation is a group of stars that form a recognizable pattern in the night sky. So like we're looking at the Big Dipper now, and that group of stars forms the pattern of the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper by itself is not its own constellation. It is part of the constellation, the Ursa Major. And then the constellations that you can see at night depend on the time of year and your location. So, an interesting fact about the Big Dipper is that the stars in the bowl of the Big Dipper farthest to the right point directly to the North Star, which is also known as Polaris. And because the North Star always appears in the same place in the night sky, it has served as a navigational tool for centuries. So if you're facing the North Star, you're facing north. And then for the Little Dipper, which is part of the constellation Ursa Minor, the end of the Little Dipper's handle is the North Star, which is also known as Polaris. And then we move on to Leo. Leo is a part of a zodiac constellation, and it's one of the largest and oldest in the sky, and it depicts a lion. And the next one is Lyra, and it looks like an instrument known as lyra, Lyra looks like an instrument known as lyra or lyre. Next, we have Cassiopeia, and Cassiopeia is located opposite the Big Dipper. And Cassiopeia was an Ethiopian queen, and she was known for her beauty and vanity. Our next template is Delphinius, and Delphinius is in the shape of a dolphin, and Delphinius is one of the smallest constellations in the sky. Our next template is Sagitta, and Sagitta is located in the northern sky, and that is formed into what looks like an arrow, and that Sagitta is the Latin word for arrow. And last but not least is Cancer, and Cancer is the Latin word for crab, and Cancer is visible in the spring in the northern hemisphere and in the fall in the southern hemisphere. And in the northern hemisphere, which is where we live, it's best seen in early spring around March when it's high in the sky in the evening. joining us today for Virtual STEM Club Constellation Exploration. I hope you enjoyed the project, and we would love to see any pictures or video of you doing this project, and you can share them at the email address that's coming across the screen at the bottom. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.